My name is Rogelio Carles Rosas. Everybody call me here as Roy. And I came to New Zealand back in 1996. Yeah, grew up in Panama and was raised there. I always say that Harry McClary brought me to New Zealand because I used to be an animator, classical animator. That was my training. Then suddenly I started getting involved into dancing. Life was taking me into dancing, into salsa here, into carnivals, and I ended up not doing too much animation after a few years and just getting full into the scene here, the salsa dancing scene. I started going to the salsa parties to start, and then the person who used to teach here stopped teaching, and that's when I started getting together with Jackie, and Jackie started Salsa Magic, and I joined her, and yes.
So hi, my name is Jacqueline Cook, but everyone knows me as Jackie, and I became involved with Salsa Magic as the founder, funnily enough. I got involved with street Latin or salsa dancing after being an exchange student in Argentina, and I thought, how do I keep speaking Spanish in New Zealand? And at uni I found Spanish speakers and, come along to the local Latin club, and we learnt lambada and salsa, and I'm like, this is cool, Cuban style. That was in Auckland, and I moved back to Wellington and went, I want to do more salsa, what's happening around here? And this amazing guy, David, who was running these fortnightly dance parties, or getting them started with tango and merengue and salsa, Cuban style really. And so I went along to the parties, and that was great. And then he said, I'm moving back to Melbourne. I'm like, yeah, how about, and a few of us were able to take over the parties. So I took over the fortnightly teaching, little intro classes. So it was a good way to get into teaching at a very social level, street Latin dance. And it was already at the Performing Arts Centre. There was already a bit of a vibe. So it was easy to engage with people and go, who wants weekly classes? And it grew from there.
I'm Jacob. I grew up in Pukerua Bay, just north of Wellington. I went to school here in Wellington, headed down south to Otago University for 4 years, and in my time there discovered and connected with salsa and the salsa scene. Came back to Wellington in 2005, at which point I discovered Salsa Magic here in Wellington. I met Jackie through some of the socials and classes that were on, and I think she recognised in me a real passion and love of salsa, genuine love for the dance and desire to learn, and I brought with me a real passion for linear style salsa, and that was a little bit different in terms of the style that was largely danced in Wellington, and Jackie was really encouraging and told me to come and teach everyone how to dance linear. So that was back in 2005.
I'm Chloe, and I'm from Nelson, and I've been teaching Salsa Magic since 2010. So I moved to Wellington in 2009 for university, and met Jacob in 2010, who started teaching me private lessons, and he recommended that I could assist Willie John in Salsa Magic's classes for teaching. So that's kind of how I first got involved with Salsa Magic.
I am my full name, Nazira Abu Hashim, from Malaysia. I've been here since 2005. I actually found Salsa Magic way back in 2008 when I was in my uni doing salsa dancing. Funnily, Roy here was my first salsa teacher, and I started doing Cuban salsa for like a year or so before I decided, actually, I want to try linear salsa, because I've danced socially, regularly, weekly, salsa dancing at Latinos, and then there were people that were dancing salsa, linear salsa, and I thought, what's that's different, So I found out Salsa Magic teaches linear style, and at that time it was being taught by Oliver, Nikki, and Dion. So yeah, I came to the classes just to expand my salsa vocabulary. So that's my first time getting to know Salsa Magic. Yeah.
So my name's Andy. I hail from a small town in South Canterbury. Been in Wellington since 2011, and joined Salsa Magic shortly after that, around 2012. Finding the Salsa Magic community when I moved to Wellington was actually technically day 3 of me being in Wellington. I was walking around the waterfront one evening, as one does when you're exploring a new city, and heard salsa music coming from the Boat Shed, a venue. Turned out it was someone's big birthday party, and that's where I met Jackie and Rafa.
Hello everyone, my name is Rafael Averde, also known as Rafa or Tio Rafa, or sometimes called Papi. I joined Salsa Magic in 2005 when I came from the UK. I'm originally from Colombia, but I've been away for more than 25 years, pretty much more than half of my life. So joined Salsa Magic in 2006 after I arrived here in Wellington, and it was a great thing for me because I live in London and I was enjoying the expansion of salsa in Europe as a cultural thing, parties and social and classes and workshops. And I was looking for something like that in Wellington, and I found Salsa Magic, especially on a social night called Salsa Drum.
My name's Georgia, and I am originally from Cape Town, South Africa. I moved to Wellington quite some time ago, and I have been dancing with Salsa Magic now for 8, maybe 9 years. I returned back to ballet after quite a long break and found a great ballet teacher that I was doing classes with, and through those ballet classes I met a girl called Ashvini. I started meeting some other people as well, like Nazi. That's the first place I met Naz, was in a ballet class. And Andy, who was her partner at that stage, come with us. We'll take you to Tuesday night social that we have. And I was like, oh, okay. And Andy was like, look, you're going to be fine. You're with me. And then went in there and after our ballet class on Tuesday night and kind of went, whoa. So all these people laughing, dancing, having a drink, having a joke, just having a good time. Try to salsa with Andy. I mean, I kind of got that. I got the steps pretty quickly, but I would have been as heavy as a dump truck to lead. And he could spin me, but that was about it. And then I think Andy introduced me to Rafa. And then Rafa, decided that I should now be dancing. And I was like, okay.
My name is Georgia. I grew up in Tawa in Wellington, and I have danced with Salsa Magic. My first beginner class was, I think, the end of July 2019. So I've been dancing salsa for 4.5-ish years. So my first teachers in my Beginner 1 course were Andy and Georgia O, and I really loved their banter they had. They kept the class really light and fun, but it was quite a small class, so it was quite personalised and connected and, technique driven, but it was just so much fun. And I remember when I first came, Sarah Ramsey was on the front desk, and she's so efficient and friendly, and I just felt really welcomed, and everyone was really, really nice.
There are many things I love about Latin dance. I think when I first started dancing, I was immediately drawn to kind of this window into a culture and community that I hadn't seen before. You kind of just sort of step through it, and this whole other world kind of opened up for me. Really loved social dancing and dancing to the music. It was just naturally, drew me in. As I continued to learn it, I then shortly after discovered the element of performance and the opportunity to perform salsa, and that was a hugely appealing thing for me. I did a lot of theatre at high school, and this opportunity to perform through another medium of dance and create, be part of the creative process was really exciting. And I think I also, as our performance kind of evolved over the years and became a little more serious, and we got into things like competition and performing at big events and the discipline of training and everything, I think I was also really drawn to the combination of the physical, the artistic, and the cultural.
I do love the social dancing, which is what kept me until now. I remember back when I started salsa, weekly social dancing was my thing, and I didn't even start performing until much later, until I actually found Salsa Magic again in 2012, that I started dabbling seriously in performance. But before then, what kept me dancing salsa was definitely the social dancing.
What I love about Latin dance is the sense of community and family you can gain. It's incredible. You can go anywhere around the world and walk into a Latin dance nightclub and run into people and get to generate a whole new friendship. That was what I initially loved about it. These days I'm more into the music and the complexity that it has compared to what I used to listen to growing up, pop songs. It's very simple compared to Latin music, and the dance just grows, it's still changing.
I mean, dancing period is a wonderful art form and so healthy and wonderful for you. And what I've noticed with teaching with Latin, street Latin, is that you can involve people who may not have done any dance training as a youth, and often women might have, or girls, have danced and learnt ballet or whatnot, and they're sort of naturally going to dance. But I love the fact that a lot of men, especially in New Zealand, who may not have grown up with anything like that at all, somehow are coming to it and finding how cool is this to partner dance and connect with someone on the dance floor or a woman on the dance floor and actually enjoy this music.
I grow up with Latin dance. Since you are a kid and you go to all the parties, carnival, there's always live bands and everything. But I have to be honest, when I was a child and all that, I used to love soul music because we got all this influence of the US channels there. So I used to see a lot of Soul Train. So I grew up liking a little bit more that one. But then in the parties, you get also exposed to salsa, and yeah.
What I love about Latin dance is the variety that it brings you and the challenge, because as soon as you think that you've mastered something, you quickly realize you haven't. And I love the fact that Latin dance is not a pure dance form, it's a culture. So if you understand Latin culture and you have that feel, you'll find it in your dancing. If you immerse yourself in the community and the music and respect it as it should be, it will bring you a lot.
So I came from a country where salsa, dancing in particular, any style of Caribbean dancing is very important for us. So we dance at weddings, we dance at birthdays, we dance at Christmas, we dance at any time. There's no reason for us not to dance. Talking about my country, Colombia. But I think the joy that the Latin dance brings is a kind of a medicine for your soul and for your state of mind. When I dance, I just take all my stress out. I engage myself with the music and the musicality. I want to bring my dance partner into the musicality highlights and hits, enjoy the dance, take all the stress out, and have a good time just for 2 or 3 minutes on the dance floor and enjoy that and have the connection. So that is all related and to me, and I just use it as a medicine for my own benefit, you know, and I hope it helps other people too.
The thing I love about Latin dance is just truly how fun it is. It doesn't matter what sort of dance I'm doing, if it's fire or if it's slower, it's all just so much fun. It's my most favourite thing to do.